Hey folks, and welcome to Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer and I do models. How's it going, everybody? It is Panther Sunday. So, Panther Tank Sunday. Panther Sunday was a little football-y, so I did Panther Tank Sunday. PTS. No D. So, we talked last week about me building this Panther late tank focusing on the photo etch and basically doing a build review of this big Edward photo etch and this kit right here. But there's more to it than that, than just building the kit. You want to make it accurate. You want to build it to something. And if you look here, we have two things. This can be built. This is 2-in-1. It can be built as a 171 or 267. What does that mean? How do we find that out? Now we can go to Google. That'll work. Look it up, see what's going on there. But I know for a fact one of those is a command tank. And I know I want to build a command tank. So let's take a look at what we can do to find out more about how this specific model was built. And when it was built and what features it's going to have. So let's take a look here. Let's put this to the side. And we'll take a look at one of my favorite Panther Tank books, the Enthusiast Manual, Haynes Publishing. It's fantastic, and this mainly covers the 171, which is the base tank that we talked about. But now we have in here, if we flip to the command tank section, where I have it, hopefully I have it marked. Yeah, right here. Here you go. If you look at this Panzer Wagen Panther, we talk about it can be allocated to two distinctive designations, the 267 or the 26H, depending on the radio fitted. So if we flip to the next page, we look right here. The 267 carried an extra Fugue 8 radio and had a star antenna. So that's what we want to do. That's what we're building. So I go through here and I highlighted basically all the extra stuff, like because it's a command tank, it has the extra radios, its ammunition load was reduced by 15, so it can hold 15 less rounds. The gun operator, the loader was the second radio operator. And then we can do a year. So these were built between 1943 and 1945. So because we have a Panther late edition, so we probably built something in the early 1945 range. So we can come here and we look to see when the last A's were made, because they weren't made in 45. So the last A's were made in 1944. So we can build a command tank between August 43 and July 44. So say May of 44, you could do that. February of 44. But in order to find out what features you need, you flip over to the feature page, and then it basically tells you everything that was switched over. Like in November 43, there was a governor set on the motor to reduce its RPM. In January of 44, the pistol ports were discontinued, so it's definitely going to have to be after that, because this doesn't have the pistol port option. So you got March of 44, the roof was fitted with a close defense weapon. The Zimmerit was added in 43. Between November and December, well, that won't matter because we're doing later than that. And then the jack was moved to vertical and horizontal positions. And if you look here, you can see the different exhaust type configurations. This is your first one, and then the different exhaust configurations. So we need to figure out which one we want. And then from February 44, changes to the fittings of the rear plate of base were introduced. So an improved hydraulic turret, 43, and then crew compartment heaters were added in January 44. So this kit does not have the option for a crew compartment heater. So it's going to have to be a summer build. So, but it is a late production, so we can build that 267 command tank, and we should be good to go. And this is a good book. It's got all the different information. It tells you how many were built from which factory, so you can even narrow it down and say, hey, I want one from the Daimler-Benz factory, or even one of the 50 from the Demang factory. So you could pick one of these numbers and hunt it down and see if they built command tanks. It does say in here where the command tanks were built. Let's see. I think it says where they were built. So yeah, so all the command tanks came from the MAN production plant. So you'd have to be from the MAN production plant. So, but that's what we're gonna build this up as. We're gonna do this Panther Late here as a command tank. The 267. Go ahead and underline that right there. This 267 right here, and we're gonna have the star antenna on it, just like on the box. We're gonna check some dates to see if we can have the anti-aircraft gun on the turret block. And what's nice about picking the command tank, I'll show you here with this photo etch. The nice part about doing the command tank is it comes with both sets of radios in the photo etch itself. So let's take a look real quick. I'll show you both sets of radios. In full detail. So if you take a look here, let's take a look here. You have the 3 radios for the radio compartment in the driver's section, with the gunner in the front, and then you have the radios for the commander, well, the loader for the commander in the back to command his squad. So you have all the radios in this kit. So you might as well build a build the command tank. So now I'm not sure, I don't think any of the other Panther kits from TACCOM, I have another one right here. No, that's just a 171, so it's just a standard Panther tank. So, and then once you get into that, then you can get into some books with some detail on this. This set of books got me hooked on doing the Panther, I'm telling you. This is from the Research Squad. It's a Panther project. They're basically restoring a G Panther, but the colors and the detail. But it's basically tons of photos of the inside of this Panther and what it's, relatively what it's supposed to look like. I don't want to show too much, but basically references for everything, so you can find different things. Like I went through there and I was working on my Panther here. I got some more work done on it. I got some things installed, but I had all this area painted wrong, so I fixed that. I have a little bit more to do, but I got some more done on this. This is gonna, hopefully a little bit more later today on this Panther. The Bark Panther still got its own issues, but we got this. We're getting it done. It's gonna have engine in the back like that. It's gonna look pretty cool. Boom. Boom, just like that. It's gonna be a tank. So that's that right there. That's what we got going on right there. So I'm going to come back and just be a second for you guys, but for me it's going to be half the day. So I'm going to come back and then I'm going to go over some more information on starting a tank and having historical references and how to start out and get under wraps on it. So back in a second. Okay, we're back, and we're looking at, we went over what we were going to do, and we're going to do the command tank, the 267 in our Panther. So let's take a look and see what we can see in the book that is the command tank. So now TACOM instructions aren't 100% telling you what tank is what. So if you basically just open this up and you build, oh, we got a correction there, that's right. You build, start sprue wrap here, and you just start building through. You get all this built. There's already some issues we'll talk about with this. Let's build this. Let's build all this, and we're gonna get going here. There's a correction there. Now let's get to the first options here. So building the ammo boxes, the tracks, engine, and we're gonna get to one here, hopefully, because I bet you the radios are going in the turret. Okay, so looks like the whole lower hull, there's no options. But let us see what it looks like on the upper hull here. Now, let's see here if we can see the radios in these pictures. See, here is the radios for the radio operator. There's 3 radios. And then, yeah, see, now here's the command radios right here. So this is where they're going to go. They're going to go in the turret there. And then if you are not building the command unit right here, this is what you would have. This is the style you would have right here. So, and again, this is also showing you the inside without the command and showing you this version. But this is for these 2 tanks, the 2099 and the 21. The 21 is a late with Zimrit already on it, and then the 2099, that is this kit, I believe. Yeah, that is this kit. So I actually may have a review of the one of this with Zimrit on it. Okay, so now we're going to get into your option choices here. So you're going to do step 33. But step 34 is going to be an option. So you need to figure out if you're going to do option 1 or 2. So it doesn't come out and say that this step is for the 171, and it doesn't say this step's for the 267. So we really don't know what the command tank is on this, so we have to look at our reference photos again. So let's see here. This looks like it's getting an antenna on the engine deck. So from what I can see, this step right here is for, it's mounting the rear antenna, the star antenna that is for the radios for the commander. So step 1 is what you want to do for command tank. So I'm just gonna put a highlighter right there, showing you we're gonna do this one. I don't know why I did that shape. This is weird. So that's because that's gonna have the antenna mount on it, and I can tell just by looking at it. Looking at one of the, if you look at in the back here, one of the, see right there in the back, it's got the thing. So sometimes you got to flip through. Actually, the four models they show are, yeah, here's a command one right here. This is a command one. There's only one command one right here, and it's got this design. It's got this on there. So that's that. So we know that this is we're going to want to do step 1 of this. So we know that. So now let's move on here. And now we have an option here. We have a 1-step and a 2-step. Now, it looks as if these steps are exactly the same. Yes, they are, but you're putting on this hatch instead of this hatch. So, I mean, we're going to want to do this step right here because we're putting on that hatch, but we're not going to do this one. But the only difference is it's getting the hatch without the antenna mount. So now we have the next step, 38, is broken into 2 steps. And there is a difference here on these mounts here. This A213, A214 compared to the U parts. So we would think that 1 would be the command tank. So yeah, it is, because it has the antenna on there. So we're going to want to do this one right here, because we can see our command antenna. So this one's actually pretty easy on picking which ones are which. So the same with this one. This one has the command antenna. So we're going to just do this section right here. So, and then we have 40, 41, 42, 43 are all for both tanks. And now we have same with these. Well, this is basically the same. Now we move into the turret. So there's going to be some options to choose in this one. So here we go. We got step 51 and 52 here. Now, 52 shows a bow gunner, okay, where 51 shows no bow gunner. So, now, what do we pick? Well, so far the 1 has been our command tank, but if we go back to our reference book here and we look up where that command tank was, where's it at here? Here we go. Okay, so it had another radio said it was not located on the hull of the transmission, but on the right-hand side of the turret in both variances, employing the space normally occupied by the coaxial machine gun. So we know that, based on our reference material here, that the machine gun is not in the command tank. So we know we need to build the one without the machine gun, which is, again, number 1, but I've had ones that weren't that simple. So, I mean, this is something you need to do. I mean, this may seem boring and this. So, again, number 1, this one doesn't have the machine gun, so that's the one we're doing. And then now we have, basically this is the radios right here. This is the 2 radios for the turret compartment for the gunner to use. So we're going to do that one. And then we have this one is basically a little bit different because it's got a different generator in it because of the radios, but I can see the radios, so we're going to do this one. right there like that. And then again with this one, we're gonna do 1 because I can see the radios. So that was pretty easy. Now we have to look at 59 and see which one we have here. So we got 59.1 and 59.2. The only difference is this right here. So I don't know what that is. I'd have to look that up. So we'll hold off on that one. And then I can definitely see that this is number 1 because I can see the radio compartment going on. And now let's look at this turret floor. It doesn't have this piece on it, so we come back here and it is number 1. So this was pretty good. The last one I did from TACOM wasn't this simple, but it's good to check it and make sure that you're good to go. And again, this is basically the same, but it's number 1 because it doesn't have that machine gun there. And then number 1 gets yeah, it gets an extra antenna, so that's definitely this one. So there's that one. And then we have 65.1 is putting the star antenna on. So, and that's made out of photo etch, which is very nice. And TACOM gives you the photo etch one. So we're going to look at this. We're going to talk about maybe doing this in piano wire just to make it a little bit more durable. So basically, okay, so we let's review what we did here on Panther Sunday. So Panther Tank Sunday, sorry. We have this Panther late model that we're going to build with a Big Ed photo etch upgrade kit. And it's there's 2 different tanks in this kit. It's a 2-in-1 kit. So we needed to decide before we started building which tank we were going to build. So we decided that we were going to build the command tank, or I decided I'm going to build the command tank because that's what I want. I like the extra radios because I got the detail in the photo etch. So a couple extra radios in there would be nice. So we're going to build the 267, and then we're like, well, what's a 267? Let's double check what that is. So we went to our reference book here that talks about Panther tanks, and we looked up what the 267 was, and we found out that was our command tank, and it's the one we want to build. So then we went through and we found all the instructions that pertain to the that building of that 267 tank. So we have that done. So now that that's done, we have that, but we still need to go through the instructions because there is a few more things that I pointed out earlier that, you know, we're building it from the man factory because that's where they were all built, and we have all these identifying features and extra things that were added at different times. So you can come up with a year and a month maybe, and even a number, and, you know, get some photographs of that tank. And, you know, but this is basically, we need to find out, you know, what the exhaust layout's going to be like. Is it type 1 through 5, and different things like that. We know we're not having a crew compartment heater because the kit doesn't come with that. There are kits, the G comes with that, the crew compartment heater. So and then, you know, we have all our information on our command tanks in here. You know, where it talks about our command tanks are variants, Panther variants, you know, between these years, you know, so a G could be a command tank. Maybe next one I do is a 268, you know, we'll see. And it talks about all radios and just highlighted stuff so I could find it easier. You know, it talks about a generator in there, and I don't see that in the kit, so I'm going to do some research on seeing where that generator would be, and I'm going to see if I can put that in there or what's going on. So, and then the book's extensive. It even goes into the off F, which I haven't found a kit on. And then it has a lot of pictures. Talks about how the torsion bars. There's a infrared sight, which TACOM does make one with infrared and anti-air armor. And then we got a lot of history of the Panther tank in here. So this is, it talks about where they were on battle. I'm going to go through here. Maybe I can find a 267 and get a number off of it and see what I can find just off the pictures here. But there's all kinds of it. So all kinds of history. There's talking about why they built the Panther to take on the T-34. It talks about the weights, and it's a good book on the Panther if you want to build scale models. I think it's very good for building scale models because it tells you, armor thicknesses. It gives you pictures and looks and things like that. Now, if you're painting and you want to see all the details up close, like I said, these Research Squad books with all the details of what everything looks like and things like this. This is based on a G, but a lot of the parts are similar. If you read in the Panther Enthusiast Manual, you will see that there's not that many just changes to the G, but it's the torsion bar system's the same, transmission, engine, all that's the same. So your pictures are going to be good to go, and your hull interior is going to be good. So, but that's what I do. That's basically covering reference material, covering how to set up to build the tank, and picking which tank you're going to build based on the kit you have, and then looking up to see what that tank's going to have, and then getting ready to build it. So that's going to do it for this Panther Tank Sunday. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.